Testing. All right, testing. Can I get the sound to work in background for some reason? Hmm. Um. Do something here. Hey, what's up, boss? Nah, I just was banging my head the last hour at least trying to get Reshade to work on Return of Reckoning, and it's so they make it look so simple. Like they have this guy that that says like oh install Vulkan and Reshade, right? Like install Vulkan, which I got Vulkan to work. In fact, I had and I couldn't. It wasn't as simple as this either. Like oh put this DLL in your folder, and then add this configuration file. Now just run the game. I'm like that doesn't work, you know. Yeah, this guide doesn't work for that, so I had to like create a custom batch file that does a bunch of like freaking magic that basically like swaps files in and out and it's doing a bunch of stuff to basically fake out. Same thing with that we had with Turtle Wow, where I was having to fake out the launcher so that I could use an injection of another DLL. I'm doing the same thing here, but I'm doing it for the Vulkan API, video API. And the thing is, I need Reshade to work with Vulkan, and it's supposed to just to work. It's supposed to just be like, install Reshade, point it to your exe, and say you're using Vulkan, which I am. And it's not working, so. And you can look at my log file here, which shows that we are using DXVK, which is the Vulkan API, and we're also using the DXVK configuration file, right? Yeah, it's fucking frustrating, man. Very frustrating. All right, let's just save this. Well, honestly I was getting bored of playing. Turtle Wow is cool and all, but it's like we're not going to play Turtle Wow. We're going to play Epoch, so I just felt like I was kind of wasting my time. It's like, you know, but I can't get Reshade to work for this, which really. But I am using the Vulkan API as opposed to the DirectX API, and it does feel smoother, so that's cool. But we're sacrificing Reshade to get Vulkan to work, apparently. And I don't remember what any of my abilities do. Yeah, well, I mean, Epoch's. Yeah, you seem to have like a lot of trepidation with Epoch, but I mean, I think Epoch's going to work. I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, Epoch's been around a long time. They've been developing for Epoch for, 3-4 years. I've played on multiple betas of Epoch, and I've never had any issues running Epoch. So I don't really have any concerns about whether or not their content's going to work, because I know it will. I know it's going to work. It's just a matter of how well their server's going to perform. And I'm sure that, and we saw like last night, they had 5,000 people in the server, and it ran fine. So it's definitely. I don't have any reservations about the content working. It really, I'm sure I have some, but nothing major. Well, no, the poll is kind the poll. It was kind of stupid. And a lot of people in the general chat were kind of mad, but the poll was like a 24-hour poll, so they basically said that the poll's going to run for 24 hours. So, which is, it says right here, the poll will be available for 24 hours. But they started at 4:52 p.m. yesterday, so that's going to go all the way till 4:52 p.m. today. But I mean, we already know what's going to happen. I don't think there's any chance that option 2 is going to take over option 1. I mean, it's possible, but and the poll's only been up for, I don't know, what, 8 hours or something. But I don't see that happening. I don't see. I mean, where it looks like we're going to have the option 1 is going to be the choice of the day. And 13,000, I mean, to 90, I mean, you're looking at 9, 10, 11. It's actually the gap between 1 and 2 is getting bigger. Yeah. The gap between 1 and 2 used to be 3,000. Now it's up to 4,000. So it's actually getting bigger. So, yeah. But we're looking at 26,000 people have voted, but we know there's more than that many people in this account. So it's like, 64,000 or whatever accounts. And like you said, you can't even create a new account. So, although I could have sworn I saw in general chat that somebody did create an account. So let's go to Project Epoch. Yeah, okay, so it's not, yeah. So they were lying, I guess. So you still can't create an account. So, but I'm just so bummed I can't get Reshade to work in here. That really bums me out. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I don't think I was using the Vulkan renderer before, so I could probably just go back to the regular game renderer, I guess. But everything I've read says that the regular game renderer is really pretty piss poor. Yeah, I don't think I can play this game without having reshade. I'm honestly, I'm so tied to reshade that if I can't get reshade working, I don't know. I'll have to configure this game some other time. I also, plus it's been so long since I played this game, I almost feel like I should start from level 1. Kind of just to get used, because I have so many. One thing with this game reminds me a lot of EverQuest 2, because you have so many abilities. Like, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17 abilities. This is a specific, battleground ability. So I have a lot of abilities for someone who's only level 15. A lot of information on this UI. I can't get sound to work in the background either, which makes it hard for me to stream. And I streamed before. Question is, did I ever switch?
Oh, I wish that would have killed him.
Question is, did I ever switch? Go to my other monitor while I was streaming. You can see here. This is what my UI looked like before when I was playing.
Nice.
Definitely was using some different bars. It almost looks like Z Pearl, doesn't it? Like from World of Warcraft. But yeah, a lot of my UI looks cleaner. Here's the quest log. You see the quest log here is collapsed. The map looks different. And then I have this other map. Some different add-ons installed, it looks like. Anyways, I'm just... Hey, what's up, JR? How's it going, man? I don't know what I do with the zone tracker. But this is what my character looks like. Crazy looking. She looks like Elric of Bone, only it's a female. This is a female character. my abilities. I have so many. Trying to see if I could move this window, but it doesn't look like I can. Tactics. Yeah, kind of looks like a... But I mean, honestly, I almost feel like I should play this game from level 1 because it's been so long since I've played it, and I definitely need to fix my interface. It's all messed up. Oh yeah, Elric was super frail until he took his potions. Once he took his potions, then he was pretty strong actually. I've got so many skills. Sweeping strike that rakes across targets up to 25 feet in front of you. I think like maybe we should create a character from level 1. And also I don't know how to install the add-ons. But I don't want to do that right now. It's already like 1:24 in the morning my time. This game has that annoying thing of when you log out, it like takes forever. Like, you know, you'll finish the logging out in 15 seconds. The Dark Elves. Look at these guys are great though. These little green skins are super cool looking, man. And then you've got the Empire, the High Elves. Right? Look at the green skins are super cool though. These guys. They're super cool. Then you've got the Dark Elves. This is what my character was. Witch Elf. What's a Witch Elf? An offensive melee career. Witch Elves favor ambushes and quick attacks like a rogue. And then the Blackguard. That's what I played, was the Blackguard. Remember, this is a healer? Archetype healer. Doesn't look like a healer, does it? A frontline healer. Disciples use soul reaping to gather soul essence from their foes, striking them down in the name of Cain. The essences can then be used to invoke divine gifts. I'm just so bummed that Reshade doesn't work. I am so used to using Reshade for all my games that, like, when I can't get it to work, I just don't even want to play the game because it makes such a drastic difference in the quality of the visuals. Especially for an old game like this. Although this game is not too bad. Color-wise, it's a lot better than World of Warcraft. Like, Vanilla WoW looks way worse than this color-wise. Maybe we can... Let me go back to... Just so bummed. I've already spent a couple hours on this today. No settings there. Where's the pole? Gee, Snow, the pole is on the... It's on... Cuts open a vicious wound, dealing 120 damage, and weakening the armor. Oh, I'm so frustrated. I shouldn't have started the stream until I got it working. But it's getting so late, you know? But I didn't really even want to stream this game unless I got Reshade working. We could go back to not using Vulkan. Yeah. I don't even know which version of Reshade I've got installed currently. It's a bummer, man. So I think I don't even know which version of Reshade I'm currently using. I think it's this one, which I really hate this version of Reshade, by the way. All right, let's just go in here. We're going to go here. We're going to go boom, boom. We're going to do Vulkan, and it should come up as uninstall. We're going to uninstall. Yes, uninstall, finish. And we're going to go into our folder. We're going to delete Reshade shaders. We're going to delete anything to do with Reshade, which actually the preset I we probably could keep, but when you uninstall it, I think it wipes it anyway. And then if we go to... So that's the game running with Vulkan. So if we go to Direct3D, this guy here, and we rename this file to back, and then we go, and I think that's all we have to do, and then we just run the launcher. Now we should be running... Now we should be running a different version. So if we go to the log file here, and we're going to have to go to the very bottom. Actually, let's close out of here. Let's delete any log files we have. Log. Delete. Run the launcher again. That login music. I'm just debating on whether it's more important to run Vulkan as our renderer, which is supposed to gain us like 20 to 25 frames. Yeah, the music's pretty cool. Yeah, I know. Okay, now we're using supposedly a different... I don't know, I mean, it seems okay. And does it really feel... I don't think it really looks any different. I don't know if we can see our ping. Like, is there any way... Let's... How can we see... How can you see your ping in Warhammer? Actually says you can type it in the in-game chat box, /ping. Oh yeah, so much for that. No, that doesn't work. is it? Ah, I always forget how to do it in here. There's a way you can always check the ping in here, but I always forget how to do it. No, no. Resource monitor. Now we're getting somewhere. TCP/IP connections and latency. We are looking for war. Okay, so it looks like right here, our ping is coming in at around 150, 150, 125. It's kind of it's kind of bouncing around, right? So 125 to. So I'm gonna say it's probably around 150. Just looking at that. I did find the add-on thread in the forum. I mean, I actually have some add-ons. I just haven't installed them. But the forums, unfortunately, the Discord was really not helpful. You know what I mean? Like, if I went to the Discord, I actually had asked a question about setting up Vulkan. I got no responses. You can see here. I put a post in, can we give me a quick can with the Vulkan, getting Vulkan to work? Said I tried the guide on the warcamp.com, but it doesn't work. And I actually eventually figured it out myself after about like an hour of messing around, and I actually had to create a batch file that actually bypasses, it actually creates like a temporary directory, and it temporarily moves one of my DLLs into a certain folder, and then it launches the game, and it moves the DLL back. So it's basically like hiding the DLL from the launcher. Because if the launcher detects the DLL, it won't launch. It's the same thing we do for TurtleWow. Like, to get Reshade to work in TurtleWow, you pretty much do the same thing. That's why you have to install these couple different, this add-on and this other exe in the TurtleWow folder. But this way we did it with a batch file, which is kind of cool. But so I got that part of it working. So I run this batch file. So like when I run Warhammer, I just launch this batch file. It comes up. It has a timer on here, 3, 2, and then I click connect. See, 3, 2, 1. Then it's going to copy the DLL from the temp folder back into the Warhammer folder. So it's basically fooling the launcher. So now we're actually running the Vulkan renderer, the Vulkan API. Which is cool, right? And it feels there's always like a little bit of initial lag when you first get in. It always clears up. I don't know, it feels maybe a little smoother than the regular one. Oh, and how do we see it? So we are able to see the ping, but how do we see our FPS? I don't know, like if you can view. Yeah, see, this doesn't work. Supposedly, you're supposed to be able to type in chat like FPS, like commands here, but they don't work. I don't know what channels there are either. Yeah. You're renowned rank 15. You can still PvP in T1 areas. I don't really know what that means. I mean, I guess I'm renowned. I mean, I'm rank 15. It's been so long since I played this game. I know literally nothing about it at this point. That's how long it's been since I played it. These guys are tough. Well, these guys are level 15. So I have like all these abilities, and I have some that aren't on keybinds. I have a throwing dagger ability, which let me take a look. My keybinds. Surprised I don't. I don't know which hotbar that is. Let's see if we can go to customize interface, layout. Okay, yeah, good. I just want to see if it would tell me which action bar was which, and actually it does. So that was action bar 4, I believe. Go to key mapping, action bar 4. Right. Doesn't really tell me though. See, it just says hotbar. It doesn't, even though it's action bar 4, it doesn't really tell me. It has all of them are like added together, I guess. That's kind of weird. So key mapping. Well, I guess we have. So I don't know which one action bar number 4 is. I guess if we do some math, right, we could figure out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 12. So if it'd be 36, so this theoretically would be 37 if it's just doing it sequentially. So let's go key mapping and let's go to 37 right here. Let's just say, what is this? Taunt. Let's say T. And so there we go. You know, my brain works sometimes. It works sometimes. And then we're going to go Shift E, right? Okay, so we have a taunt ability, we have a throw. So let's try throwing a dagger. First, let's read some of these skills and see what they do. I'm surprised I don't have anything on the A key, which seems odd. I normally do. Okay, so it looks like I'm missing an ability here. Did they like change the game or something? Let's see. How do I get to my spells? No. Abilities. Yeah, this one, the Piteous Strike, is used here. Oops. It won't let me put it on my bar for some reason. This is what I used to have on this bar, but it's... Apparently they've done something to the game. Shit, I just moved something off my bars, I think. This is for... You know what? It looks like it's there. We just can't... Oh, it is there. You know what? It is there. It's just, I think, faded out so you can't see it. See how it's all gray and you see like this little... So there's actually... Ooh, that's awful. Like there's actually abilities on here, but you can't see them because they're so grayed out. Here, let's see if that's the case. I'm going to throw something at this guy. Yeah, see, it's there. So we're basically just spamming buttons, but not really sure what they're all doing. Just kind of like, it's kind of like using my abilities, right? So, starting off with Pitiless Strike, a merciless attack that weakens your target, dealing damage and reducing their toughness. Okay, so that's a good opener. Then I go into Feeding on Weakness. This is a buff. The pathetic display of fighting skill shown by your opponents instills an even greater urge to destroy them. You lash out, 106 damage, increasing your toughness. Okay, so this isn't so. So I tend to start off with. Well, I can't really start off with eggs. It costs hatred. So we generate hatred, which I think might be this bar, and then we also have shield wall, which is a buff, but I don't know how to keybind it. Okay, so what's this do? Horrific wound. Yeah, let's give him a horrific wound. This Shield of Rage. This shields me from damage. Nice. So we want to keep that up at all times. They can be, yeah. So these I've got two of them, but so I got these morale skills: Demolishing Strike and Shield Wall. I took quite a bit of damage there. Let's see. I'm also using this Focused Offense. Seems to be some sort of, I don't know. So we need to keybind these morale skills, right? I mean, the thing is, I've played this game before.
That will
You can see here. So this is me actually playing this game back when I kind of knew what I was doing, which I have no idea now what I'm doing.
Oh no, your pet goes down.
So how do we install add-ons? Let's see.
will allow you to drag and move any parts of your player in their party, thus giving your team crazy levels of survivability. The catch is that these guard abilities have a max
Install. I just don't know where to put the files, I guess. All right, so we've got a few, right? I downloaded some add-ons. Let's grab the let's grab Buffet. We're going to copy this one. We're going to put it into our add-ons. Oh no, that's the add-ons folder. Interface add-ons. Paste it in here. And I don't think guard pack's one we're going to see unless we have other people. Enemy, I don't really know what enemy does. I guess we'll find out. It grows as you stay in combat. Yeah, I don't know how to keep. We'll have to look at the key bindings again, but It's weird how when you so there's some of the big problems here is trying to stream this game is like how do you get the sound into work in background? So all right, so close this. We're gonna go back here. Apparently, this is the only character I have. I love the little the loading screen images that these books look really good, you know. Okay, you are running a new version of War for the first time with this UI profile. The UI mods below have not yet been updated specifically for this version. You may re-enable these mods through the UI mod settings when if you wish to attempt. The book was the new thing in MMOs. Okay, they're actually all enabled. Buffhead, enemy, and I don't know what lib group is. You must reload the okay. Okay, we've got this weird thing showing up over my head. Okay. Okay. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Why is it showing like this? Left click to mark a target, right click. Must have some sort of a focus target or... Oh, that's right. We have a friendly target, right? Here. No? I don't know. I did vote Neepok Ball. I don't feel like... I'm sorry. I can't deal with playing this game right now. There's just too much shit. One thing I don't like is I don't like playing a game if I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know how to set up all the stuff in this. I mean, I've done it before, but I don't want to fuck with it right now. I'm just not in the mood. I'm just tired. It's almost 2 in the morning. I'm grumpy, as you can tell. I'm definitely grumpy. Yeah, I did vote in the Epoch poll. I voted for... Here, let's just close all this crap. Disappointing, though. I mean, I'm not going to... I can't play a game anymore if I can't get Reshade to work. That's not an old game like that. I did vote in the poll. I voted for... Here. I voted for option 2, which was wipe it all. Of course, it doesn't matter because option 1 has more than 4,000 votes, so we already know what's going to happen. They are going to no wipe but prune, which is fine. I mean, this is... I think the reason people are voting for number 1 is just simply because, you know, a lot of the people have moved out of the starting areas. So the server is not going to be, you know, overloaded in those starting areas. I do want to get Warhammer working correctly, but I don't want to do it on stream, obviously. I don't want you guys to have to watch me fucking around with trying to get shit working. So, I mean, I've got to figure out how to get... I either have to figure out how to get Reshade working with Vulkan or without Vulkan. We could try it really quick without, which might work. Well, I don't know. I don't think we don't have any Reshade installed. So if we got rid of the Direct 3D DLL, actually we did. We already renamed it. So we should just be able to Install. Let's try this really quick and we'll test it out. Let's just do this really quick. I don't like that version of Reshade though. And we're just going to go, I believe, DirectX 9. You think they keep the poll up for the full 24? Yeah, it's dumb. I mean, I think a lot of people in the general chat were pissed off about that. But I mean, and it's a lot of people were saying, well, they're just doing that because it gives them more time. Like saying that, oh, hey, we're going to put a poll up for 24 hours, kind of gives them a little bit of time. Because you remember, if based on what's selected in the poll, I mean, I think at this point they know that they're going to have to prune, so-called prune characters who have more gold and more items. So it could be that they're already doing that. They could already be like, well, we know who's going to win the poll. Because, I mean, come on, do you really think the option one's not going to win at this point? The gap between option one and option two is getting bigger, not smaller. So unless for some weird reason, 5,000 people suddenly all jump in and vote on option two, option one's going to be the winner. I don't know. I'm sure they have their reasons for doing it the way they're doing it. They're not just willy-nilly saying, oh, 24 hours, pick a number out of my ass. I mean, they did it that way for a reason. One, they wanted to give enough people enough time to vote because this is a global thing. There's people in the U.S. like me. There's people in Europe. So, you don't know when someone's gonna see the post. So 24 hours, get people who are like, some people are asleep. So I mean, I don't have a problem with the 24 hours, and I think it makes perfect sense. But people are impatient. I want to play my game. I can't get in the game now. Why can't I get it now? So, just chill, people. Chill. But yeah, the servers are probably, I mean, to be honest, they're probably going to bring them up. I mean, I would imagine they're going to bring it up on, I don't know, Thursday. I mean, who knows? Maybe they might even bring it up sooner. What is today? Tuesday? Wednesday? What's Wednesday? So most likely they'll bring the servers up, servers, one PvE, one PvP, on probably Thursday or Friday. So I don't think this is going to work. I have no faith. For some reason, this game does not want to run with, and I know I've run it with Reshade before, so it might work. I don't know. I don't think it's going to work. I think it's being wonky on me. Oh, I take it back. It is going to work. So we can get Reshade to work. Using the default DLL. So you think like Thursday launch? Maybe, wait, now that we got, see, now it's not going to work though. So we got Reshade working. Oh, this is why, see, Reshade doesn't, this is why, yeah, so I didn't use Reshade because it had this issue. Ah, I forgot about that. It had this issue. But I thought I fixed it. But yeah, you can see that the my hotbars and stuff are like the clarity of the icons are way better. Like I can actually see, even though the A skill wasn't available, that there's actually a skill there. So, but that doesn't work. So, hmm. Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, I think going with option one makes more sense. Even though I voted for option two, I really think that option one probably makes the most sense. What's with this fucking add-on shit? Yeah, I think I think option. I mean, I think obviously, I think option one's a good option. You let people. I don't like the fact that people are going to be like level 14 and 15 when I get back in the server and I'm going to be like level 4. I think it kind of sucks that there's all these people that could have multiple professions like at 125 and all this gear and like all this. But again, it's not that big a deal because I'm going to be running that mod where I'm only getting 50% of normal XP. So it's not like I'm trying to out level anybody. I'm not. I'm already like gimping myself. You know. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks having a bunch of people that are like have a little bit of an advantage, but I know Valst is really. I don't know if Valst is still in the stream here, but he was really worried about. He's like, I don't know if the server's even going to work. And I'm like, it'll work. You know, I actually have pretty. I have faith in the Project Epoch team. I mean, they've shown that they can actually, they can create content, they can create quests. I don't, you know. I mean, this game's good, but I'm really bummed because I haven't played this game in so long. I don't really remember like my abilities, like what they do. I'm just kind of basically doing whack a mole. You have to go through and read the tooltips and figure out which build abilities are best and in what order. The biggest one here is Shield of Rage because every time I cast this, it gives me like a bubble. Think of it as like a priest bubble almost. I mean, it puts a bubble up, but I have tons of other skills and there's a lot of abilities. This is a blackguard. The thing that's bugging me the most about this game right now is I can't get reshade working, and it's just the game looks way better when reshade's working, and it's supposed to work. There's the guide that I followed to set up the Vulkan rendering engine, the Vulkan rendering API with reshade was so simplistic. It's like, hey, drop this DLL here, and you know, and drop this configuration file here, and just run the game. And as long as it runs okay, then shut it down, install reshade, and you're good. And I did all that, and it doesn't work. So, and their forum unfortunately wasn't very helpful. Like when I posted on the forum asking for some help, I really didn't get much of a response. So even though their forum seems to be pretty active. In fact, actually, it's really active because I posted this at 5:16 p.m. yesterday, and you can see there were actually I guess there weren't that many posts. Wait, hold on a second. Yeah, there weren't a ton of posts since then, but there were definitely some posts. Yeah, but a little bit. Let's look for. Off topic. I'm gonna see if this person's asking about reshade. I don't know. This game is cool though. Like I would say that. Oh, did they have Twitch drops? No, this game no, like legit, like Realm of Reckoning, like Warhammer Online has some of the best PvP. Like if you guys like battleground PvP or large scale PvP, this is one of the best PvP games of all time, like hands down. Like the PvP in this game is really fun, and it's pretty complicated because classes have a lot of skills, and there's a lot of like, it's not easy to kill people. Like people that are tanky are very hard to kill, and you have to work together. But that's what makes it so good, you know. And I was watching a guide on this game here, and on, let's see if I got it in my history. And actually, I probably still have it open, but yeah. I mean, there's this guide by Hasme, Warhammer Online FPS Performance Guide, Return of Reckoning. So there's the Vulcan.
API to Vulcan.
There's the API to Vulcan, which I'm
in
using.
In layman terms, Warhammer Online is using DirectX 9 API. If you don't know what an API is, let's just call it a video card driver for simplicity's sake, even though that's not exactly true. DirectX 9 stopped.
The sad part is this video came out in April 15th of 2025, so this isn't that long ago. And the guide to installing the Vulkan, changing the API to Vulkan, and using Reshade is super straightforward. So the fact that it doesn't work for me either means that, you know, I am running an AMD processor, and I hope that doesn't have anything to do with it. I mean, I've got a newer video card too, so I don't know. I don't know if it's like a hardware issue with my computer. I wouldn't think so, you know? So, but very disappointing that I can't get it to work. I'm really kind of pissed off about it. So, but you go to this website here, thewarcamp.com, and you just go to the guides section, and you go to I think it's graphics maybe. Yeah, and you go in here, and basically it's like, oh, just install, you know, DirectX, you know, Vulkan basically, right? This is DXVX is for translating DirectX 9 to Vulkan. So you basically just download it from here. You extract the 32, the folder X32 DLL, this one, into your Warhammer folder. Once you do that, you also make sure that you download. So start the game wants to ensure it's working, then close it. And then it says do that before you install Reshade. Then, you know, it says add this configuration file to your game, which I've already done. And then once you're done with all that, then you just install Reshade. Point it to the Warhammer EXE like you normally would. Select Vulkan. And, you know, presto, you're done. Why this method works? Well, you know what? It doesn't work. And the reason this setup prevents the white silhouettes bug is that it translates DirectX 9 to Vulkan, then Reshade recognizes the game as a Vulkan-based title, allowing it to apply shaders without interfering with the file. So that's what we saw. When I was using Reshade, we saw the white silhouettes. So, which I thought I fixed that somehow. Like when I played this game, you know, years ago, because I actually played Warhammer quite a bit 3 years ago. So last time I played this was 3 years ago. I think this is when I first played it. Like this was like me going in and creating a character. Yeah, you can see I went through and created my character. So this was like me like playing the game from level 1. Super cool game. If you guys have never played Warhammer Online, you definitely should try it out. It's really good. The graphics are kind of like Lord of the Rings style graphics, but I think the graphics are beautiful. I love this style of graphics. Like if you guys have ever played Lord of the Rings Online, I like that kind of kind of older graphic aesthetic. It just feels very fantasy, you know. I feel like I'm stepping into a D&D game or something. So I'm a big fan of this style of graphics. I'm just looking to see if I went through. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of streams of me playing this, but I have about 4, I think, streams of me playing this.
Those are ones I can wear.
I was just wondering if I like solved the reshade issue on stream somewhere. But I'm not seeing it. But when I haven't played a game in like 3 years, a lot of times it's like I almost want to start over, and kind of get, you know. The other thing about this game too is like the world seems pretty big. So like gearing up is not easy. Like this is not an easy game to get into. Like understanding how to do battlegrounds and stuff, you know what I mean? You may have talked about how you fixed while questing. Yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know when I did it. At some point in time, I obviously like if we look at these graphics, does it look like I'm using reshade? It doesn't really look like it. This looks like I think the standard. But I'm already using like add-ons because these are not I think these are right. Because like my bar here looks well, no, the bar just fades out for some reason. Maybe I'm not using add-ons. What does this one do? What does that do? Healed by your hatred, you push yourself ever auto regain it. Okay, gain action points. Shield arrays, absorbing damage. Feeding on weakness, toughness increased. Okay. I don't know how do we keybind our other abilities? Let's see. Oh, here's the morale abilities. I don't know what I keybound these guys to, but I'm sure I would have keybound them to something. And I don't see like where I have them. Let's see, proof game, Warhammer. Is your action points? Yeah, I'm trying to see. Here's my other stream, which looks like a really old. This is a really old stream, right? This was 3 years ago. So I think this is probably my second. It's 32 minutes. That's probably my second stream. This was my first stream. And this might have been my last stream. This is a 4-hour stream. I'm wondering where those things are coming up. Let's see.
You.
How come I don't see it?
Who has this one? Well, that was wounds. What was the other one? There's a portal. I ported.
Yeah, so here I'm in the big city. I don't remember how to get to the big city, but the big city is where you do. I don't remember if the big city is where you queue up for your battlegrounds. I can't remember. Again, that's what's frustrating about this game is I don't remember. I don't remember how to play the game. Let's see if we get into a battle. Here, this is definitely a battleground right here. Actually, this is one of my favorite battlegrounds.
Watch the.
Hello, green little one. In the Flight Master window.
Look at that tower shield. That's a big shield. We've got Gringo.
And this is like another player. So we got someone coming in to try to take over our spot. No, they ran away. They're debating whether they want to assault our node here. This is like a hunter or something? They're doing some pretty good damage to Gringo. He just healed himself. Now they're running. They realize the mistake they made, and they're like, I'm out of here. Is it a white lion? Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not seeing my morale abilities, so I don't know if I just haven't generated enough. I'm trying to get to the point where I can see what keybinds
my buffs on them.
I'm trying to figure out what keybinds I used for my morale abilities, but they're not showing up anywhere. Like, I'm not seeing them show up. God, and I've got all these other... Oh, yeah, we got these spears and shit. Oh, my God. There's all these other things I have on my bar down here, and I don't remember what these things... I don't remember what these things are.
Oh, shit. We got a big group coming. Retreat!
Big battle?
How do we not have the other base is what I'm... Okay, now we do. I was going to say, we should have both.
So I can tell I'm definitely not running Reshade here. I'm just running default DirectX API with no... I'm basically running the default vanilla client here.
Took her 2 fireballs to knock my shield down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's alright. Cool, Arius. We're doing good, though. We're doing good, dude.
Morale 1 ready. There. Did you see that? It said, I saw a thing that said morale 1 ready, but where is it? Like, it said morale 1 ready, but I don't see it on my bars anywhere. Huh.
We're pushing them back.
I wonder if my interface was just messed up here, that we don't see the morale abilities. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the morale abilities on there, man. This was driving me nuts. So if we go into here... Yeah. Here, let's just kill this guy. So we've got Brutal Smash, a vicious blow to the head that deals damage and increases the strength and also increases willpower. Is that what you did? Yeah, I don't... I'm sure I would have keybound him because I'm kind of a keybinding fool. I keybind everything. Juggernaut. You become filled with unstoppable power, moving all snaring. Okay, this is like my break free. Driven by hate. Fueled by your hatred, you push forward. This is... We gain a bunch of action points, which I don't really remember what... Though I think those are just like energy almost. Hold the line. You focus your defenses against enemy, increasing your chance to dodge. You also defend allies behind you. I remember that one. Cuts open... A horrific wound cuts open a vicious wound, dealing 120 damage, and weakens enemy's armor based on hatred. So the more hatred... So this is a really good one to use against like high armor targets. Let's try doing this. Let's build up our hatred. Now we're going to use our ability that weakens this guy. Okay. So we still lost some health. Still lost some... Yeah, we got these abilities, but... Demolishing Strike, a powerful attack that reduces the target's armor and deals damage over 15 seconds. So... I'm just trying to think what key should we use for that. AR... I mean, we could just do... AR... I'm surprised that I didn't have those. No, they are in the key binding menu. That's what I'm just trying to figure out what keybind to use. Like they're right here. See morale 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're right here. Let's try this. Okay, we did better that time. We took less damage. Yeah, I pretty much use the same keybinds on the bars, and then like for that, I actually changed it to shift. That's shift mouse button 4. Yeah. Like my bars are typically pretty similar. Like I'll do like mouse button 4, 2, 3, 4, A, D, F, R. Usually C, X, mouse button 5, mouse button 3. And then on above that bar, I'll usually do like the shift modifier. So see down here it says A. The one above it, shift A, D, shift D, F, shift F, R, shift R. See how I do that? That's typically the way I do it. But we did better against that guy. Hey, what's up, Buzz? How's it going, man? Sorry. Yeah, I definitely think we're doing, the rotations I'm doing are a little bit better. But still, there's a lot of skills on this. And what's this? So a vile attack that crushes your target's will to live, inflicting damage and lowering their intelligence and willpower. So it's good. I like to start off with A, which basically weakens their toughness. Then I follow up with feeding on weakness. Now, with 30 hate, recovers 25% damage inflicted. So this one actually heals me, it looks like. So let's try something here. So let's build up some hate, right? So we're at 35 hate, 50 hate. Now we're going to try... Was it this one? Yeah. And you can see it did give me... It looks like it gave me a little bit of health. Actually, it didn't really feel like it gave me any health. The pathetic display of fighting skills shown by your opponent instills an even greater urge to destroy them. You lash out for 106 damage, increasing your toughness by 36 for 20 seconds, and will recover health based on your hate and damage inflicted. So it looks like I recover health during the buff, maybe? So the other thing that's annoying me is it looks like the one buff wasn't working. Let's go to customize interface, mods. Let's turn on buff head and reload the, and hopefully, but I think buff head wasn't working, was it? Yeah, let's see. It should hopefully be working now. Yeah, Buffhead's working now, see? That's good. Yeah, it's actually the character controller is quite smooth. It moves really good. Problem we're running into, like I said, I can't get Reshade to work with it correctly. So let me exit the game real quick because I don't think we're using Vulkan right now, are we? I can't remember if we are. I think we are using Vulkan, right? That's the non-Vulkan DLL. Yeah, actually, I take it back. I think we are running Vulkan, but we'll double check. We'll double check because we're running a batch file to bypass the launcher. I create a batch file here to bypass the launcher, and this is going to basically move my Vulkan DLL out of the working directory, and then the launcher is going to launch, and then right before we launch the game, we're going to throw the Vulkan DLL back into the working directory, so it'll actually pick up that DLL. It's kind of like I said, it's kind of the same thing we do with Turtle WoW to kind of bypass the launcher so that we can get certain things to work correctly. But unfortunately, the reshade isn't working right. So we've got 4 seconds. 3, 2, connect. Oh yeah, so this does like people. There's like 200 on 100 v 100 or even 200 v 200 battles. It's insane. This is like one of the best PvP MMOs that there's out there right now, hands down. I just don't remember how to play because it's been so long. So, but I would like to get back into it because I think there's more people playing now than there were. It used to be like, that it was hard to get like battlegrounds. Now I don't know. Like I'm trying to. I don't know. I haven't played the game in so long. I don't really know how to play. So, now what was the other add-ons we had? Let's go to. For some reason, this enemy thing was weird. I couldn't get that. I don't know how that thing works, but I think we're fine. We got a sprint ability. My little buff watch. I'm seeing some little bit of chug in here. The other thing we could try is let's try something real quick. Let's go to. I have exit lag. Let's see if we can get. Way too many things open. Let's see if we can run it through the VPN. Yeah, Flea definitely does, but it saves your butt so many times. I can't tell you how many times Flea saves your ass, man. All right. I don't think it's picking it up. Are they in Paris? Yeah, I know they're in Europe somewhere. I don't think it's picking up the server though. Oh no, it is because we got disconnected. It is picking it up because it disconnected us. That's a good thing. All right, so let's go home. There you go. Average ping 131. Let's see, Warhammer. There we go. Performance. Source monitor. All right. I don't see any latency for that. Is it exit lag that shows it? Yeah, I don't know of a way. Hey JR, I don't know how of a way in game to show like my latency. Yeah. But we are running through VPN now, so it should be a little bit better. I mean, it felt smooth before. It still feels smooth. You know what I mean? It's not like it didn't feel smooth before. Retreat! Yeah, so I mean, I guess, you know, Project Epoch, I think they're going to bring it up on, I think they might try to bring it up on Thursday. Okay, yeah. It got laggy for me. Like, it got laggy for me when there was like a lot of people, but that was when on my old computer. This is my new computer, which is way faster, so I don't know. Yeah, so we're trying to maintain our Shield of Rage buff at all times, and we try to maintain our Feeding on Weakness buff. So these two buffs are the most important because this one looks like it actually helps me to recover. Looks like it actually helps me to recover health and increase my toughness. And then of course the Shield of Rage is like having a priest bubble up, so it's just pure protection, you know. So we got pretty low on health there. What is this bar? Renown points, experience points. What is this? Like, is that just like my focus or something? Anyways, yeah, I don't know. The Project Epoch, I think it's going to come up. What do you guys think? I think Project Epoch's probably going to launch. Yeah, Dark Souls 1 vibes is probably my favorite game of all time. That's cool, Daniel. Yeah, it's too bad we can't get Reshade working because the graphics would look way better. Like if you look at some of the videos that people put out, they're in it. Let me show you some videos of. Let's see. Like if you look at, I think there was one over here called. There's Warhammer. This one actually is 3 months ago. Here's top 5 reasons to play Warhammer online. Just look at the.
But even the PvP over is available to experience. Should you play?
I'm just not even going to play the audio. I just want you to look at the graphics of the game. I mean, look at like the images that we see here, and they just look so good, right? And these are all in-game locations, and look how nice they look. I mean, that's pretty sweet. And this is like PvP. Warhammer is known for its massive, large PvP battles. Yeah, no, it's a PvP. Like the whole point of this game is PvP. I don't really know how the gearing works, but this YouTuber right here, the guy who did this video, he's got a video on how to gear for this game, and his content seems really good. This has me, but the only problem is that these videos he did were about 3 and 4 months ago, and unfortunately, the guides that he has for using the Vulkan renderer with Reshade, which I'm sure worked at the time, don't work, doesn't work for me now. I mean, I can get the Vulkan rendering API to work, but can't get Reshade to work. But yeah, but here's got the ultimate gearing guide. I watched a little bit of this, but a lot of people were giving this video a lot of good comments, so I think this is probably a good place to start if you're looking for gearing. Everything gives work rights. You can just buy what you want. Okay, see. Yeah, I didn't know how to gear, but. And what were the other add-ons? I thought I had other add-ons. Let's see. Yeah, all right. Yeah, so Aura, I can't remember exactly what Aura does. Interface, add-ons. That one add-on that was, I just didn't know what it was doing, so. I guess it was the guard. Was it guard pack? No, we didn't put guard. We don't need, I don't think we're going to need guard pack unless we're actually, doing PvP. Guard pack was pretty cool. He basically, like, you can set up a guard where you're actually guarding another player, and it puts a little dotted line between you and them. It's actually pretty cool. So let's try. Oops, sorry. Just cancel. I don't want to open this up. In the wrong file. No, I'm still in the game. What am I doing? I'm still in the game. I don't think that. Yeah, we're gonna have to reload. I would imagine, unless we can reload in game. Let's try something. I'm wondering if I reload, if it'll pick up the other add-ons. Yeah, see? Or, you're running a new version of War for the first time with this UI profile. The mods below have not yet been updated specifically. Okay, maybe. So guard line failed. Yeah. When a tank guards you and then taunts your attacker, they do almost no damage to you. So I don't know what this is doing, this weird box thing here. Left click to mark a target, right click to open the context menu. Yeah, Warhammer has an MMO. It's not really. I mean, it's an MMO, but it's very. How do I like? Let me. I don't know if these are gonna show up. Run over here. Yeah, I don't know about this thing. I don't know what this is. What this does. So, but obviously, it looks like they updated the game recently. Yeah. Now let's get rid of this. So the only thing that seems to be working is Buffhead. Unfortunately. Yeah, I think they updated this game recently, and it kind of looks like it broke some of the add-ons. Also, apparently, what is this? Enemy mark? Reflect oil. This is for like battlegrounds? Yeah, I don't know. What's a taunt? I have a taunt ability. The cool thing about this game, though, I mean, like the PvE aspect of it is like you can't just go and attack like 2 or 3 mobs. Like at least my character can. I mean, I get my ass handed to me. It looks like I'm getting some experience though. It looks like I'm almost to the next level. I wasn't really watching how much experience I was getting per kill, but it must be pretty decent because I don't remember me being this close to the next level. Let's see how much this wolf gives me. Ooh, rank 16. Yeah, I played Rift. I was a Rift founder. I played tons of Rift. There aren't too many MMOs that I haven't played. But yeah, I was a founder of Rift. I loved Rift. Rift was a great game. Especially when it first came out, like it was really cool. Like the Cleric. Rift had some of the best battlegrounds too. Like if you want to talk about like PvP, if you want to talk about like PvP and MMOs, like Rift, Terra. I mean, even like Guild Wars 2 PvP is super fun actually. So I would say Rift, World of Warcraft. I mean, those are all my top MMOs anyway. Really, like if we had to do a list, right? If we had to do a list of my favorite MMOs, I mean, probably we'd have to. I hate to say it, but World of Warcraft is probably number one because I hate to say it because I hate Blizzard at this point, to be honest. And then I would probably have to put Now I'm gonna put this list based on how good what the game was like when it was new. Like, so this list is like, top MMOs as as they were at launch, right? At launch of the game, right? Because that's, to be honest, that's when most MMOs were in their best state, really, right? So I would say I would say as far as enjoyment, like how much I enjoyed the MMO, World of Warcraft. It's tough because it was so long ago, but I would probably say that actually Terra takes the top spot. I would say the first, because of the action combat and how much I loved PvP and action combat in Terra, I would say Terra was probably the most fun I had in an MMO on launch, like when it launched. And then honestly, I probably would put Black Desert number 2. Because Black Desert, when it launched, was just confirmed in general. They've already started doing queries to prune people, and they're working. Yeah, that's what I figured, Daniel. Is that they wanted that 20 because I think they figured that number 1 would win the poll, and they would need 24 hours to go through and query the database, get all the stuff, delete the right things, and get it ready. That's so. I thought that was just giving them time to do that stuff. Yeah, we're not. Hey, Bus, we're not getting a full wipe. I would prefer. Sorry, I'm yawning again. I would prefer a wipe, but in a way, not wiping is good too. I mean, they both have pros and cons. Like not wiping means that obviously not everybody's going to be in the starter areas. So, which is nice, right? But I would say, based on the most fun I had in an MMO, what was based on the most fun I had in an MMO when it launched, like that excitement and like that level of just pure fun and joy playing an MMO, I'm ranking the top MMOs for that factor alone. Like, if I had a list of the best MMOs and most fun I've had in MMO over the life of the MMO, it would be a different list, right? But I'm just ranking these as how much fun I had in the game the first week of the game, right? I'd say like the first week of the game, I would probably put Terra number 1. I would put Black Desert number 2. I'd put WoW number 3. I would have to do, I don't know. Oh, I gotta put Ion number 4. I actually loved Ion. We'll put Rift number 5. Yeah, I really liked Ion. And I gotta put, actually, for pure fun, a lot of it's weird because my level of fun was based on the fact that I'd never really played the MMO genre. It's like the first MMO I ever played was Lineage 2. I had a blast. I mean, I loved Lineage 2, but it was the first MMO I'd ever played. So as you play more and more MMOs and spend more years playing MMOs, what you want, like your expectations are a lot higher. They change. I like the font they use here. It's nice and easy to read. Yeah. Cauldrons of the Wicked. These are actually better than mine. Toughness. Damn. This is actually an upgrade. Well, Vindictus, I mean that's a good game. I loved Vindictus too, but Vindictus isn't really an MMO. And Vindictus is a what they call a hub-based, like a hub-based kind of MMO. You know? Yeah, but if we want really this is like my list of I would actually put let's just say top MMOs ranked by how much fun I had in the first week of launch, right? So this is like top MMOs the first week of launch, right? I would say Terra is probably number one, just because I loved the combat Terra so much. But I love the combat Black Desert. You know, it's almost like a tie. I would say Terra and Black Desert probably a tie. World of Warcraft probably number 3, Ion number 4, Rift number 5. I mean, you could really, these are like a tie though. I would put Rift. Black Desert. I actually had a blast in Black Desert on launch. So I would do something like this. Like Terra Black Desert were my favorite games the first week of game time. WoW probably number 2. Ion or Rift probably tied. Number 4, Rift. Actually, we can get rid of Rift. But if you want to talk about just combat, like what's my favorite, you know, combat MMOs? This is going to be a fun list. So, favorite combat MMOs? Like, or we can include Vindictus. And Vindictus is pretty much, it's kind of like an MMO. I mean, is there crafting in Vindictus? It's been so long. Vindictus, you get, yeah, there's crafting, right? Isn't there crafting? Gosh, shit, it's been so long since I played Vindictus. But if we put, let's just say favorite combat MMOs. I mean, you got to put, yeah, there's crafting, right? Yeah, I thought there was. I mean, Vindictus is definitely up there for sure. I mean, it's really fun. But Vindictus's combat was a little bit more. It wasn't quite as precise, maybe, as something like Terra. I still have to put Terra number 1, but I gotta put Elion right there because the combat in Elion was just as good, pretty much, as Terra, and it was no surprise made by the same company, basically. If you've never played Elion, I mean, oh my God, some of the combat in Elion is really fun. And then I got to put Black Desert Online, right? Black Desert's combat is really fun. But then, yeah, we can put Vindictus in here. Vindictus is certainly, combat's fantastic. Actually, Continent of the Ninth Seal. If you guys have ever played that, has great combat. Great combat. What's another action? I mean, the Guild Wars 2 combat's really fun, but it's not really action. It's kind of like a mixture. But Guild Wars 2 has got really good combat too. I'm trying to think of other MMOs. Like Final Fantasy combat, I don't really like Final Fantasy's combat. WoW, WoW's tab targeting. I'm just trying to think of like action-based MMOs. What other ones were there that were action? That were good? Continent of the Ninth Seal, Vindictus, Black Desert, Terra, Elion. Can you guys think of another ones? Well, SWTOR's not in there because it's not an action combat system. And if we put SWTOR in here, it would probably fall down here, right? Like when we talk about like how much fun I had in an MMO in the first week of launch, I still think Terra and Black Desert were my favorite. WoW's number 2, Ion and Rift. I had more fun probably in Rift the first week than I did in Star Wars: The Old Republic. But that's not true. No, that's not true. I would say it's the same. It's almost like a tier list. I would say, because I absolutely loved Hutball, the PvP Battleground Hutball in Star Wars: The Old Republic is probably the best PvP kind of map mode of any game ever in the history of video games. Hutball is just amazing. But yeah, I would say we could put it up there in his list here, I think. You know, it's really hard to delineate between some of these games, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I played Guild Wars 2 with mouse look, right? Like, as in Guild Wars 2, you can switch between mouse look and non-mouse look. You know what I mean? You can make it like, you know, like in World of Warcraft when you rotate the screen, or like this game here. When I rotate the screen, I right click on the screen and I rotate while I'm holding down right mouse click. You can do that in Guild Wars 2, but you can also do it that you can turn that off and go into what's called mouse look, which basically just means as you move your mouse, the screen turns with you. And I play Guild Wars 2 that way, right? Like if you watch me play Guild Wars 2 PvP, you can see that you should be able to see that I'm using mouse look, right? So here I'm doing Guardian PvP.
Cannons loaded. Ring the bell to signal them to fire.
But you can see, I'm not like you don't see my mouse cursor on the screen because there is no mouse cursor. I'm using mouse look, right?
Receive the light. Red team, ring the bell. Fire all cannons.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Yeah, you can call it Action Cam too. Action Cam mouse look, same thing.
Save yourselves.
I love the Guardian and Guild Wars too, man. Oh yeah, I think all MMOs should be like this, right? All MMOs should be have Action Cam and mouse look. I'm not a fan of tab targeting. You know, really, WoW is the only one that pulls it off in a way that's still like kind of fun. You know. Oh yeah, I use Guild Wars 2 on Reshade. I use Reshade on Guild Wars 2 as well. When was this? This was 2 years ago. Yeah. Quality of this stream isn't very good though. It's only. Yeah, this wasn't one of my better streams quality-wise. Let's see. I've got lots of Guild Wars 2. I mean, I played Guild Wars 2 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I was a founder in Guild Wars 2 too, so yeah, as well. I've been a founder in almost any major MMO, but let's just do Guild Wars 2 PvP. 2 years ago, 2 years ago, 2 years ago. I was looking to see one that was more recent, just to see if I had a better quality, but it doesn't look like it. You can see I called this support no cap. So I said Guardian PvP support no cap. So this is actually a build where, as a Guardian, your goal is just to hold a point. You're not there trying to cap the point. You're just holding it. You're basically preventing other people from capturing it, basically, as long as you can. So you're basically just kind of like a tanky tune. But I was good at PvP in Guild Wars 2, but I wasn't like the best. But I was good. You know, I definitely could play, but
You lost the graveyard.
see if we get some good battles here.
Line. Lethal combination. I charge.
Come on, get in there.
Live now. Charge.
People in their damn turrets. Ooh.
You've taken the
And
graveyard.
this is the guy. It's this tasty bun.
Yeah, this guy Tasty, but I remember he just kicked my ass. He was doing so much damage.
Lethal combination. I charge.
We'll see. Let's fight first. Maybe we should play some Guild Wars 2 while we wait for. Like, I mean, the thing is, like, there's different MMOs like World of Warcraft. Like when we look at the list, like, and back to the favorite combat MMOs, you know, favorite action combat MMOs. I mean, Terra and Elan, #1 for me. Black Desert, Vindictus is really good content. Night Steel's good. I'm sure there's other ones. I just can't think of them right now. But like, there's certain MMOs that are good at certain things, right? Like if I want to do PvP, World of Warcraft Battlegrounds are probably some of the most fun PvP. Like Arena, Battlegrounds, and World of Warcraft, great. But Rift Battlegrounds were super fun as well. The problem was Rift died down so quick that you really didn't get, a lot of people really didn't get a chance to experience how much fun Rift PvP was, because it was really fun actually. And then of course, like we were just looking at Warhammer Online. Warhammer Online PvP is amazing, and it's definitely by far one of the best it actually probably is the best large scale PvP. There aren't too many MMOs that can say they can have 100 versus 100 PvP and it runs pretty smoothly, you know. But Guild Wars 2 is super fun. Guild Wars 2 is one of those games I go back and play like once every couple years. And the cool thing about Guild Wars 2 is the way the gearing works, because there's a max level, right? Like the Guild Wars 2 max level never changes. Like I think it was level 80 when the game came out. It's still level 80. So all they do is they release new seasons, like new living seasons, right? They just release new living seasons. They might release expansions, but they don't change the level, which was just pure genius, to be honest. So when you leave, it's one of the only MMOs you can like walk away from the MMO for like 3 years, come back, and you don't really. It's not like you're like trying to learn a new game. You can just come back and pick it right back up. If you played World of Warcraft in like TBC and then tried to come back in Legion, it would be like feeling like you were coming into a completely different game. It would be so different, right? Especially if you left like TBC and came into like Mist of Pandaria where the talent tree has changed. I mean, so
Receive the light. Step advance.
Wrong. You've lost the quarry.
I can't see. Hold the line.
I mean, look at these debuffs he's got on me.
yeah, this one guy was really hurting me in this battleground. My goal with this particular Guardian build was just to basically stay alive and try to hold points so people couldn't cap them. And it was a good build. I really enjoyed it. Like I've talked about it before. When I play MMOs, my favorite style of playing MMOs is
Waterfall is yours.
my favorite style of playing MMOs is to play a sword and shield character who can do decent damage, but it's very hard to kill. That has always been my favorite style. I don't know why. I just like that style of play. So. And I like to be more of a support character, someone who can like augment my enemies and help them out, like augment my team and make them stronger, and so. But yeah, the Guild Wars 2 art style too, like it's amazing when you go into Guild Wars 2, like if you haven't played Guild Wars 2 in a few years and you go back and play, you're always kind of blown away by the art style. It's so unique. I mean, Guild Wars 2 hands down has the most unique art style. Like it's so stylized. Like it's like when you think of like MMOs as far as like if I showed you just a picture of an MMO, could you tell me what MMO it is? And there's certain MMOs that are just like it's so easy. You're like a Warlock Necro. The Necros are so strong. Like in Guild Wars 2? Yeah. Or you like Warlock Necros in general? Yeah, so you like the rotting classes that just rot you to death that are like super strong, right? Because Warlocks and Necros are typically really strong characters. And they're usually the kind of the bane of the character I like to play, because the character I like to play is usually tanky from physical damage, but not that great against magical damage. So Warlock Necro is usually like my counter, or the character I don't want to go up against usually. Yeah, Affliction, yeah, exactly, SL lock. But I kind of lost my train of thought. I was just saying, like, if you showed someone a picture of Guild Wars 2, you'd know it was Guild Wars 2. If you showed someone a picture of World of Warcraft, you would know it's World of Warcraft. If I showed someone a picture of, in today's world, if I showed someone a picture of, like, Chrono Odyssey, you might not be able to know what it is, because there's, and there was a video that came out, and there's a streamer that I really don't like, and I probably shouldn't badmouth other streamers, but there's this one streamer that I don't really care for. Kira TV. I mean, he's creepy, and he's got, let's see, Kira TV MMOs have a problem. And he did this video.
Welcome back, friendos. If you're an MMO player,
one of the reasons I don't like this guy is that, first of all, he's just kind of creepy looking. But one time he did a stream where he was wearing like an S&M like leather mask on his face, which I thought was just kind of weird. I mean, just the fact that he owns a leather mask, S&M like leather mask, is kind of creepy to begin with. And he just always looks like he never showers and bathes. He's like this guy Asmongold, but anyways, this guy, I don't know what it is, but this guy rubs me the wrong way. But he always does these videos, and he always does these kind of negative videos. I think that's something that reason I don't like him so much is because his content's always very negative. It's always like, this is bad and that's bad and this person sucks and that person sucks. You know what I mean? But he did this video and he says the MMO genre has a new problem. And I'm like, and every time I see a big video by Kira, I'm like, oh God, what's this fucker gonna say now, right? And he kind of surprised me by his content, by his topic, right?
you've no doubt encountered the same frustration. So far, might have actually made things worse. I'm talking a few years ago that people, myself included, hoped would bring change for the better.
So he saw the Unreal Engine 5 demo announcement, which was amazing. Unreal Engine 5 looked fantastic. And he's basically saying in this video, like, I thought like Unreal Engine 5 it's cool. Like, I thought we're going to get a lot of new MMOs based on Unreal Engine 5, and it's going to be good. And he's like now saying, no, that's
but
not the
so
case.
far might have actually made things worse.
So he's saying that like the Unreal Engine 5 could have made MMOs worse. And I really get kind of ticked off. This is like a stance that there's a lot of people in the MMO space that are just not very intelligent. And I really dislike it when people take a stance against a piece of software, right? You know, being a software developer myself, that's probably part of the problem. But there's nothing wrong with Unreal Engine, right? If you go and look at a list of games created by Unreal Engine, it's going to be, you know, longer than, you know, it's going to go for quite a while, right? There's tons of games made on many platforms that are Unreal Engine 5 that are amazing games. Okay, the problem is most people that are making MMOs, because MMOs are such a big project, they're having to a lot of times use, you know, the same type of like pre-made resources. Because if you go into the Unreal Engine, like if I launch the Unreal Engine, you can just go into the assets that are free, right? Like if I were to launch the Unreal Engine, let's wait here. If I launch the Unreal Engine and I'm going to create a new game, you know, I'm making an MMO. You know how long it takes to make an MMO? It takes forever, right? It's a monumental effort. So to make producing MMOs quicker with Unreal Engine, a lot of these people are using a lot of the similar assets that are free, that are pre-made, because it just makes the process go quicker. Of course, then a lot of these MMOs look kind of the same. They look very similar. And you see a lot of MMOs that have problems with the Unreal Engine 5 engine, where they have problems with optimization, and they have problems with what's the other biggest issue? It's really just optimization and like kind of texture pop in and stuff. But the thing is, if you were to play, like if you play like Fortnite, for example, do you see any issues with Fortnite, like having texture pop in? Do you see any performance issues with Fortnite? No, you don't. And guess what? Fortnite's on Unreal Engine 5, right? So it really comes down to the skill level of the people that are using the engine. It's not that the engine's bad. So the people that are using the engine just, you know, they don't have the skill level. Like there what was an MMO that was made? Terra, for example. Terra was made on Unreal Engine, I believe, 3. Well, Unreal Engine 3 was notorious for being very bad at handling large-scale games. So you wouldn't really think of using Unreal Engine 3 for an MMO, but Terra it ran good. It ran very well, and it looked good. Like the graphics looked fantastic. It was Unreal Engine fucking 3. So that's a perfect example of someone taking an engine that people said is not good, which it really wasn't, for a genre like an MMO genre, and yet they still made it good. So it's because the skill of the development team who made Terra was really good. You know what I mean? But if you go into Unreal Engine and you can just go into Quixel Bridge, you can say, oh, you know, I want to add a building into my game. Like, am I going to spend a lot of time, you know, creating my own assets when I could just go in here, you know, and take something like this, you know, and drag it into my asset folder, wherever. And, you know, I mean, there's all these prefab items. But the thing is, everybody has access to the same ones in Unreal Engine, you know, and a lot of them have kind of a similar look, right? So yeah, people that are making games, a lot of the stuff's going to look similar because they all have access to the same fucking free resources, you know? And whatever. Yeah, you said this way, no wife's winning. But anyways, that was a tangent. But yeah, I get a little bit ticked off when people blame Unreal Engine for bad games. It's not the engine; it's the development team that's making the game. You know, they just don't have the skill. So, and they'll get there. And eventually we're gonna see a hell of a lot of good games made on Unreal Engine. So we're just not there yet. You're so disappointed that the wipe is. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like it is what it is. I mean, you can see it. Like I said, the gap keeps getting. Well, let's see. We're almost to 10,000. I mean, yeah, the no wipe is way ahead. So I'm sure they're already going in and cleaning up all the. I'm sure they're already going in and pruning stuff. I don't think they're going like, oh, let's see, maybe it'll change. Maybe in the next 10 hours, number 2 is going to win. I don't think so. Yeah, they've already started. Yeah, was it confirmed, Daniel? Yeah. Yeah, I remember you said that. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see like how well it runs. I'm not really concerned about the first couple days. So we know the game's going to run like shit the first couple days because there's just too many people. I mean, I still am just miffed at the fact that they didn't say they were going to bring up more than one server. I'm just miffed. I'm miffed. Like you go to Project Epoch and you go to sponsoring, right? I mean, they have 341 sponsors. I'm giving $10 a month to Project Epoch. If everybody here gives them $10 a month, that's like $3,410, right? And some of these people are sponsoring probably more than $10 a month, right? So they said they would do shards. Well, they said they were talking about it. So they said they talked about it, but they didn't confirm that yes, they didn't really confirm that yes, they were definitely doing it, did they? I never got like a solid like yes, if the server gets too busy, we're definitely going to spin up another shard, which I don't have a problem with shards. I mean, people like to badmouth Blizzard. I was talking to, we finally reached 10,000 on option 2. I was talking to, Foxy, who comes into my stream and into my Discord, and he used to work for Blizzard. He worked on BattleNet, so he's very familiar with, TCP/IP network connections from client server, right? Shards are basically like spinning up another instance of the server, but it's in its own different like process space. So it's basically, there's probably more resources allocated. You think of like multiple websites running on the same server. Like each website's running in its own process space. Or like if you have a virtual machine. If you run like a virtual machine isn't really a physical new server. It's just basically a container of an operating system, just basically software running in its own memory space, which has its own allocated, disk space, its own allocated CPU utilization. And so when a shard is just basically, I'm just guessing. I'm not an expert on this, but a shard, if I understand it, and I'm just thinking from my knowledge of programming, like how it would probably work. I don't know exactly how because it's done differently with different companies, right? But a shard typically is probably just another instance of the server, running on the same hardware, but it probably has, resources allocated to it. So, there's a certain amount of memory, certain amount of processing power, on that virtual machine that's going to be allocated to that shard. But they have to be linked, right? Each shard has to have the same ID so that they can communicate back and forth. There's got to be communication between the two shards. So like player 1 on shard 2, if he needs to move to shard 1 because he joins a party with a player on shard 1, then that player ID probably is persisted across both. So like if I log into the game and I'm assigned player ID, 10, no one else is going to be assigned player ID 10 on any of the shards because I may have to move back and forth between the shards if I join a group with somebody else. So there's going to be some sort of like tracking, object tracking, and identity tracking, and all that kind of stuff, and memory management. There's all kinds of stuff. I don't know. I'm not a technical. I don't deal with that kind of technology, but I can only imagine that there's quite a bit of stuff for managing the shards in that manner. And I don't know if they're like, I don't know if it's using a load balancer, because I think of a load balancer, like I said, I've done a lot of website development, and I think of a load balancer as just some sort of physical device that sits between two physical servers and just says, hey, this server's got so much load, but when it reaches a certain load, we're just going to direct traffic to this other server. I don't think that's how the shards are working. The shards are probably working like, hey, once this version of the game that's running reaches a certain amount of connections, then all the new connections are just going to be sent to the other, shard, I guess. Yeah, their PR is very like their communications are like their communication is not the best. Like they don't like their communication hasn't been the best, and they haven't given hard dates or times on anything really. It's like, yeah, we're working on this, working on that, But which is fine for most of it, because most of it you're trying to solve an issue and you don't know what the issue is, so you don't know how long it's going to take. So I'm fine with that. But stuff like this 24 hours, again, I think it was just to give them time to prune, because I think they knew that option 1 was going to win. I also think the way it was worded, the way option 1 was worded, see how option 2, see how it's just very little text. Option 3, see how it's very little text. Option 1, see how much text is in here. That's because they wanted people to choose option 1. The reason this was written this way is because they want you to pick this. That's why they took so much time talking about it, right? Saying, "Oh, this is just a reasonable amount for 15 player progress. Would the benefit of the prune is large number of players have already moved, which allows blah blah blah. Players have not yet begun their journeys have a better chance of winning a queue. The team is confident we can account for all edge cases." I mean, they wanted you to pick number 1. That's why there's so much text here. So. Yeah, exactly. And it's going to be crazy. You said the search for, where are you getting this information from? Is it like general or something? Is he talking in general? Oh, he is. Yeah, I forgot they re-enabled the general. Ooh. They're doing the new starter zones. No, they're doing no. The if you read it, they're basically doing the starter zones. It's a done deal. Like, the starter zones are something that are permanently going to be put into the game permanently. It didn't matter what. I mean, they kind of worded it in a way that people misunderstood what that meant. Like, it basically said if they wiped the server and you created a troll, you would start in the new zone. Basically, the only people that wouldn't start in a new zone is people that were already, like, playing the game. Like, they'd already created their characters. So again, if you look at the options, option 2, you're going to start in a new zone. Option 3, right? I think actually they talk. If we choose option 2, white players will start in the new zones. If we choose other options, new characters will start. See, new characters will start in new zones. That's all it is. The zones are there. If you create a new character, you're going to start in that zone for that character, which will be a new zone if you're a troll or like a gnome. So, I asked a question: how will shards or channels or other laying type of technology be utilized for Kazan, or will it be utilized? We know the amount of connections to Kazan will be massive. And I don't, as usual, I probably won't get a response. No one hardly ever responds to me, so. You thought it was just part of the ocean? Nah, not really. It wasn't. Well, we don't wait longer because it's done. That stuff was done. Like, the new zone and stuff is already done. You know what I mean? So. Assume server isn't going up until you see a patch hit the launchers for the new starting areas. Yeah, I mean, you're also assuming we want to give you a fixed time. Once we get the next patch shipped, we will switch on basically anytime we want. See, the one problem I have with K-Totes, and K-Totes, like even in the interview where they talk to K-Totes, he comes across as being kind of arrogant. Like I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but he does come across as being a little bit arrogant, which is fine. I mean, to be honest, dealing with the horde of the general chat and Project Epoch would be a pain in the ass for anybody, right? But this comment here, you're all assuming we even want to give you a fixed time. See that? We even want to give you a fixed time. That's kind of not necessarily an arrogant thing to say, but it's kind of a jerky thing to say. You know what I mean? It's kind of like we're gonna bring the servers up whenever the fuck we want. It doesn't matter what you want. We do what we want. We do what we want. Fuck you. You're gonna get it when we want to give it to you. That's what this tells me. Once we get the next pack shipped, we will switch on basically any time we want. One of the worst things we could do is a repeat of, yo, everyone log in at X time. We need a so that's the other thing. So this I already expected this. I already expected this already. This is something I knew they were going to do. They don't want to tell everybody. I mean, they may do this just out of necessity, but they don't want to do it. They don't want to say, hey, let's say tomorrow, which is what? What's tomorrow? Wednesday? I guess, well, today's tomorrow. So today's Wednesday, right? They don't want to say today, oh, we're going to launch on Friday at 5 p.m. They don't want to, hey, Cucumber, what's up? They don't want to say that because they know everybody's going to tell them and their friends, and there's going to be this massive horde of people that are all going to hit the server right at 5 p.m. on Friday. They don't want to do that. They may have to do that because that's just how server launches work. But they don't want to do that, right? And that's what he's saying here. One of the worst things we could do is a repeat of, yo, everyone, log in at X time. So what they probably will do, what I wouldn't be surprised that they would do, is that they won't tell anybody anything, and they'll bring the servers up without even telling anybody. I think they may be replying to people talking about registration with that note. Oh, is that what it was? Here, let's take a look. K-Totes on guy, can you at least keep people informed about everything? For example, when is the launch? No, see that response Cucumber was responding to this guy. For example, when is the launch? Today or tomorrow, next week, or never? To which K-Totes responded, you're all assuming, see? Right? I think, well, I mean, it would almost be better if they did do a ninja flip of the switch, right? Oh, I don't know. This is just K-Totes saying, K-Totes was being kind of his little bitchy self that he likes to do sometimes. Saying, you're all assuming we even want to give you a fixed time. Once we get the next pack shipped, we will switch on basically any time we want. One of the worst things we could do is to repeat of, yo, everyone, log in at X time. See here, this thing is like, I can't respond because I'm on an hour and 54 minute cooldown, which sucks, by the way. But I would love to respond to this and say, here's a thought, K-Totes. Why don't you bring up 2 more servers? And you know what I mean? Here's a thought. Bring up a couple more servers. This is the #1 problem I've had with Project Epoch ever since they did the first launch, right? What was it, a week ago or 2 weeks? Ever since then, and everything went to shit and there were too many people, my problem with Project Epoch has been that they have continually refused to bring up more servers. And I don't know why. I don't understand why they are so hell-bent against not bringing up more servers. He's saying right here, one of the worst things we could do is have a repeat of, yo, everyone log in at X time. We need semi-slow trickle first hour 2. Okay, bring up another fucking 2 servers. Problem solved. You know what I mean? Problem solved. Yeah, I know, which is kind of silly. What's up, Milan? Which is kind of silly. I mean, how much work? And the thing is, how long would they, and when would they have to do that, right? When would they have to do the merge? I don't know. I just think it's silly. So here's the thing, Milan. You're going to make everybody suffer what could be a really painful launch. Like, they could bring it up. It could be crashing. There could be shit tons of people in queue. People are going to scream and cry and whine like babies. And I don't want to sound like I'm crying and whining. I'm just saying it seems like an easy solution to the number one problem you're going to have. The number one problem you're going to have is too many people are going to be in queue. The server's probably going to be overloaded, and people are going to be spamming this Discord pissed. And it just seems like the easy solution is, why don't you just bring up a couple more servers? You know, so what? You got to merge it's not going to happen anytime soon. It's clear that they're going to have plenty of people. You don't need a lot of people in a server to have it be a good server. You only need a couple thousand people. You can literally have a server that has only 2,000 people on it, and it's fine. Totally fine. That's more than enough people to have a very populated and successful server. I've played on lots of private WoW servers that had 1,000 people on them, and it still was fun. So, you know, and I'm telling you, if they put up 3 servers, there's going to be more than 2,000 people on each of those servers. You know? Hey, Foxy, what's up? I keep going back to this, Foxy, where someone said, hey, K-Totes, can you keep us informed, right? Damn it, the screen jumped on me, and I lost it. He's saying, can you at least keep people informed about everything? For example, when is the launch? Today, tomorrow, next week, never. And K-Totes saying, you're all assuming we even want to give you a fixed time. Once we get the next spec shipped, we will switch it on basically whenever the fuck we want. This is like fucking, you know, Rounders with, you know, KGB saying, you know, in my club, I'll splash the pot whenever the fuck I want. One of the worst things we could do is a repeat of, yo, everyone log in at X time. We need a semi-slow trickle the first hour or two. Again, why not just bring up a few more servers? Yes, but that's fine. Who cares, man? Milan, so what? They got to take the servers down for a day? So here's my response to that, Milan. Would you rather have the whole Discord community crying and whining for like an entire week because they can't play the game? Would you rather open up 3 servers, have everybody pretty much be able to get in and play all at the same time, and then somewhere down the road, which is probably not going to be anytime soon, because 3 servers are definitely going to probably have 5,000 or more each, easily, right? Easily. You go to the announcements. There is 25,000 responses to this poll. 25,000. And I guarantee you most of those are going to Kazan, right? And you're telling me that it's like they're going to put up 3 servers and, oh, we have to merge the databases back in a month? No, fuck no. Maybe 2 months? Probably not. 3 months, maybe? That's an issue you got to tackle 3 months down the road. Wouldn't you rather have people happy for the first like month of the game, as opposed to having them all pissed for like the first couple of weeks because the server? Just think if they launch it with just 1 server and it crashes left and right. And it just starts crashing because there's too many people. It starts crashing, people are whining and crying, and the pitchforks come out and it becomes a witch hunt, and they start saying, Project Epoch sucks, I'm going back to Turtle WoW. Would you rather have that happen? You know what I mean? Yeah. The port to like Linux was supposedly for this game, but then here's the thing, and when I mentioned that earlier in the stream, is they talked about doing shards, they talked about layering, you know, they talked about Kazan 1 or Kazan A, Kazan B, but then they never followed up on it. Nowhere in the post for the poll does it mention anything about what happens if the server reaches, you know, we haven't really heard anything. They didn't even say 100% that the queue system was going to be in place. I mean, I think it is, but I didn't see anything in the announcement that talks about the queue system, right? There was nothing in here. You know, they said their posts have been pretty cryptic, let's be honest. Some of their posts in the update section have been very cryptic. You know, oh yeah, we worked on the queue system. Yeah. We dealt with that queue system. That's about all they said. They didn't say what they did. Does it work? They didn't test it. Like, I mean, did they? I don't think they tested the queue system really. I think they did one or two times they tested it where they had like maybe 50 or a couple hundred people in queue. You know, because they tested like 4 in the morning, right? Oh, I mean, World of Warcraft. I mean, plenty of queue systems worked. I mean, I've been in queue systems that didn't work. I've been in lots of queues in World of Warcraft where the queue wasn't working very well, where you'd be like, I've been in queues in TBC. When TBC was launched, I was in queue. When TBC came out, the very first day it launched, and I logged in, I was in a queue for like 2 hours before I got in. But I got in. After about 2 hours, I got in. And I played, and the server crashed, and I played, and the server crashed. And I got in the queue, waited an hour, server crash, got back in the queue, started that all over again. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that Kato's is clearly stating that he doesn't want to really, they don't really want to communicate when they're going to release the server. He just said that. He basically just alluded to the fact that they don't want to tell us when the server is going to launch. He just said that. Basically, he said we don't want to have a repeat of, hey, everybody, the servers are up, come in, on a certain time and come and log in, Yeah. Oh, Path of Exile. I never played Path of Exile. Yeah, I don't think they've implemented that stuff. But I mean, it's just weird. All I'm saying is it's strange. That's all I'm saying. That's the only sticky point with me with Project Epoch, Project Epoch team is the way that they've refused to bring up servers, and at the same time say we're worried about communicating like a hard launch date, because we don't want a fiasco of what happened, a week and a half ago. One thing kind of solves the other, like you're saying we don't want to do this. We don't want to bring up more servers, but we don't want the servers to be crowded. Okay. You know what I mean? We don't want to bring up more servers, but we don't want to tell you when we're launching the server because we don't want to be this mass rush to hit this one server because it's going to be fucking crowded. Am I taking crazy pills here or what? Am I taking crazy pills? Dude, bring up more fucking servers, right? Now it's too late. Now they can't do it. I mean, they could, but they would have to delay, right? We know it takes them 2 to 3 days to put a server because they've already done it. When they put up the PV server, from the time they said they need another server to the time the PvP server was up was about 2 or 3 days. Yeah. Yeah, so I think they're gonna do a stealth launch. I think what's gonna happen is they're going to just like bring the servers online and just let people trickle in. And I don't think they're gonna communicate. I think that's exactly what they're gonna do. So just by what he said, I think that's what's going to happen. And they know that even doing a stealth launch isn't going to make that big a difference. And if they did a stealth launch, it would have to be like early in the morning, like 4 in the morning or something. 4 in the morning my time. Like right now. Like what time it is right now, which is 3:32 a.m. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of drama, Foxy. I just want to have a game I can play, right? I'm sick of playing Classic WoW. I don't want to play Retail WoW. I wouldn't even play any version of WoW. Honestly, if I could help it, I wouldn't be playing any version of WoW. But there's no, if there's a good MMO out there that's brand new, I would be playing that if it's good. But there isn't. You know what I mean? I much more prefer action combat than I do tab target combat. Like WoW, I can get along with it because I like the theory crafting of it. I like I like trying to come up with cool builds. I like the talent system in WoW. I think one of WoW's biggest redeeming factors is the talent system and the character controller. Character controller is very smooth, buttery smooth, and it performs very well. The combat system works really well. The animations are clear and easy to see, which is what makes PvP so fun. There's a lot of MMOs that come out where for PvP the animations are very kind of convoluted, and you get like 5 or 6 people in the same area on a map, and all these sparkly, flashy particle effects are flying around. It's hard to see what people are doing. You don't have that problem in WoW. When someone casts a frostbolt, you know it's a frostbolt. When a rogue goes to do like gouge, you can tell it's a gouge. When a shaman does earth shock, you can tell it's an earth shock. You know what I mean? It's like The animations are clear and easy to see, and that's one of the things that makes PvP so fun, I think, in WoW is you can kind of see what people are doing, and you can try to counter it and stuff. But I mean, it doesn't matter, even if they do stealth, right? Yeah, I remember Faralina, yeah. Yeah, and that was just because of the streamers, though. I mean, I was on Faralina. I mean, Faralina was the streamer. You know, just the people go where the streamers are. Like, there were some videos that came out on YouTube today saying, or yesterday saying, oh, the resurgence of RuneScape. Well, the resurgence of old school RuneScape. And well, the only reason there's a research of old school RuneScape is because Soda Poppin and some of the big streamers that were playing Classic WoW have gotten sick to death of playing fucking Classic WoW because they're tired of it. They're bored of it. It's the same shit over and over. How many times can you beat a dead horse? The horse is dead at this point, right? You know, Mr. Pandaria Classic, who gives a shit? Most people don't. You know? A lot of people that are playing Mr. Pandaria Classic, they do it for stream, for views, but they don't really want to play that. You know, that's why a lot of the classic players are all playing old school RuneScape. You know? And that's why old school RuneScape is seeing a huge, massive resurgence right now. It's because a lot of the big classic streamers are saying, fuck, I'm sick and tired of classic WoW. You know, and they went off to, you know, and then of course you got all the Season Discovery players who were like, well, Season Discovery's ending. So they've run off to play other things, and a lot of them are coming to Project Epoch, actually. But, I mean, to be honest, if I had a choice, I don't want to play any version of World of Warcraft anymore because I'm sick of World of Warcraft. But if I have to play an MMO, I know that WoW Classic Plus is a really cool one to play. You know, it's something that I would be very interested in, you know. Like when I was playing Turtle WoW last couple of days, I hadn't played Turtle WoW in years, and they have so much new content. And it's really cool. Going into new zones, seeing new content, seeing zones where there's snow. Like there's zones in Turtle WoW, like in the Gilneas area, where it's like snowy and beautiful green landscape, and it was awesome. I loved it. I was like, this is great. But that's what Classic Plus should be. Classic Plus should be new content, but it's still vanilla. It still has that slow leveling feeling. It still has that kind of exploration aspect to it. You know what I mean? For Turtle WoW, yeah. Oh yeah, I haven't read every detail of the patch, but yeah, it looks good. Yeah, Turtle WoW's done a great job. The only thing bad about Turtle WoW is just the client. My only knocks on Turtle WoW is the client sucks. The 1.12 client sucks. And the people that run Turtle WoW are greedy and they want your money. But, you know, I can't really fault them for trying to make money for all their work. But they definitely want your money. But again, you know, no one's, you know, it's like the movie Tombstone, you know, when Wyatt Earps, or no, what was it? Was it Wyatt Earp was trying to explain to him the odds are all in the house, and he's like I don't play that. The odds are all in the house, and Wyatt Earp says, yeah, but nobody's putting a gun to your head. It's the same thing, man. You know, nobody's putting a gun to your head to buy anything. Yeah, Ascension is more greedy. Yeah, 100%. But Ascension is a total money making. They're printing money over there. The people that run Ascension are printing money. They're making Ascension Turtle is Ascension makes the most money. I would gather on private servers. Warmane would probably be number 2, and then Turtle WoW number 3. Although Turtle WoW's probably could be number 2 or even number 1. And there's so many people in it. I don't know, but Ascension WoW, yeah, they make a ton of money because the way their systems work, you know. We have so many systems that encourage you to spend money because there's achievements based on how many times you level a character from like 1 to 60. And it's cool. And they have like leaderboards, a website that shows statistics, and it's well done. Like the people behind Ascension, they've got some skill. So, and their marketing is the best, I think. Like how they market their stuff is pretty good, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's a little surprising to see K-Toots. But again, I think, you know, one thing about K-Toots, he does seem to come across as kind of an arrogant, I'll do whatever the fuck I want type of guy. You know what I mean? Like I'll do whatever I want. Yeah, Duskhaven, yeah. Yeah, Duskhaven was like it just didn't it wasn't they didn't have the quality. They didn't have the skill behind them. So I played on Duskhaven, I think. Let's see. They had the Human Hunter. Don't I have it on here? I could have sworn I played Duskhaven. I guess not. I know I jumped in there because they had a melee hunter, or they had a human hunter. Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, Warming was crazy because they straight up sold like I think epics and legendaries right on the website, right? I'm still banned on Warming, which is hilarious. I was banned because I installed just an add-on. Like I installed an add-on like to that modified the camera view and I got banned for it. And so I like renamed the folder for the add-on and I got banned for a week and then I tried to log into Orman the other day, and when I logged in, I got into the game, and then I logged out, and then I came back the next day, and it said I was banned for 4 weeks, and I'm like, I don't even know why I'm banned. I mean, there's some sort of add-on I have. I'm gonna have to go through my add-on folder and just like disable basically all my add-ons because there's some add-on I have that's tripping their anti-cheat protect whatever it is, whatever their anti-cheat system is. I don't really play Warmane, so it's not a big deal. I could care less, but it's kind of funny. So. No, I don't cheat or anything. It's just some sort of weird add-on thing. I installed. Here, I'll show you. I actually renamed the folders because I thought it was. Let's see, Warmane. Oh, I deleted them. There was two. I had two add-ons. One was because what I was trying to do is I was trying to get the offset camera because when I play Classic WoW, which is the 1.14 client, right? Like you can use Action Cam, like slash console Action Cam, to offset the camera. Like if you ever watch me play Classic WoW, you're gonna see me play with an offset camera, right? If you look at here. Why is it that when you try to show something, people stuff on stream, here you go. You can see my camera's offset. See that? How my character's to the left of center, right? Here it's not because I have myself targeted. It'll always be centered when myself is targeted. So that's why it's centered here. So as soon as I target an enemy, why is it that when you try to show people shit, you can't fucking find it here? But here you can see the camera's offset. So I was trying to get something for Warmane like that because I wanted to test it out because if I could get it to work at Warmane, I wanted it to. Well, I wasn't even using an add-on. Like this is not an add-on. In the Classic client, it's built in, right? Yeah, I don't like Stay Safe. I was watching that because he was bitching about somebody griefing or something. But I don't really watch other streamers. If I ever go to another streamer, it's because there's some sort of drama or something, or there's just some stupid shit somebody said, go check this out or something. Yeah, I don't know if... no, Stay Safe does some other... He went off and does some political bullshit, which... whatever. Same thing that... there was another streamer that did that too. Because you can make a lot of money. You know, these people, they go off and they create YouTube channels for politics. You know, and politics is a viral space, and viral content or drama content sells the most. You know, it's sad but true, right? That's why a lot of the like OnlyFans or whatever, you know, when they do like all their like kind of drama-based content, that's, you know, like Pirate Software when he fucking roached. I mean, that kind of shit is going to get the most views, you know. Yeah, there was one ad on Milan that it was called. I deleted it because there were two add-ons I had. One was trying to change the camera angle, and the other one was changing the distance of the camera view. And one of those add-ons got me banned on Warman. I don't know which. Now, when you look through my folder here, the only other one I have that I added to recently to Warman, I think, was Snowfall Keepress, and I can't imagine that would ban me. And then all my other add-ons are pretty standard, you know, add-ons. So, but yeah, they banned me for like 4 weeks. So I was like, whatever. I don't play Warman anyway, so it doesn't matter. But let's see what other. Let's jump to the pros. Here, let's go here. K-Totes. Mentions. So he says, so the last message he said, if the patch is taking longer than expected, would you consider holding off on it and just launching this? Man, look at these people were so like desperate to get in and play the game. I'm like, I don't know why people are so desperate to play it. Would you consider holding off and just launching the servers without it? The new starting areas look awesome. He goes, it isn't. There are multiple things going on at once. So, and I think that's the last thing that he said. So, yeah, the React streamers. I mean, we could go down a whole terrible negative path of me bashing stuff, but I don't want to go down that path. I mean, I definitely don't care for React streamers, people that just react to other, and then you get to like someone reacting to someone reacting to someone reacting. So it's like, oh my god, you know, it's kind of silly. But did you guys see the news? Terra 2 was announced, right? That's big news, right? I don't know if you guys saw that. How do you get the number of people online? You just do /who. Like, you just, when you're in the game, type this. Just do /who 1 to 60. Oh, the right side of the disc? Oh, okay. Yeah, you just have to just click this member list up here. You probably aren't showing your member list, I'm assuming. I mean, I'm guessing that's what you're talking about. Yeah. Sometimes sometimes when I don't use Discord, like there was a time when I didn't use Discord for a while, and I came back in and I'm like, where the fuck is the list? You know, I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember it either. Like, where'd everybody go? Where's the people? Why can't I see the people? And then I finally went up here and I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. You will be littered with MTs. What is MTs? Main tanks? What is MT? Like they banned you or something? No. Was when Diablo 4 was released. Yeah, I think everybody's used to being treated badly by Blizzard. Oh, you mean microtransactions? Yeah, that's the thing. Like again, we kind of did that list earlier, right? I was talking about like if I had to rank the MMOs based on how much fun I had in the first week of launch of an MMO, and this is how I ranked them. Like just make the most fun I had during the first week of play in a new launch of an MMO. You know, how would I rank that? Like, and I had Terra and Black Desert #1. Like the most fun in the first week of a launch, it wasn't even close. I had way more fun in the first week of Terra than I did in World of Warcraft. I had way more fun in Black Desert Online in the first week. Because those games, like, there's so much to do, like right off the bat. I mean, there's so much. Plus, I mean, with Terra, it's not that there's necessarily so much to do, but I loved the action combat. I love action combat, and Black Desert Online was just. I mean, Black Desert Online, the combat was so cool, but your money, you know. But it's a whole other segment of MMOs. It'd be like best gotcha game, gotcha MMOs, right? And there's so many people who play these gotcha games. Yeah. This could be the best gacha game ever made.
We watched Rewinding Cadence. We obviously currently play Genshin, Wuwa, and many other gacha games, but there is one specific gacha game that I am looking forward to the most out of anything that I have seen. Silver Palace. This game looks like it is doing so many things correct, and I want to
Oh, is it Major Bub? Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't know. If it's Major buffering, I mean, I don't see anything. My internet's fine, and I don't have the best internet connection. Although I may be switching to fiber optic here in the next month or two. It's probably on your end, according to. Yeah, my up speed's a little bit lower than usual. Normally it's around 35, but the stream does take up quite a bit. But yeah, according to YouTube, my connection is excellent. So it's probably on your end, JR. Everybody, both of you guys. So maybe it's just a YouTube thing. I don't know. Sometimes YouTube takes a dump. Ascension with 40k people online, isn't that like way too much? I don't know. Oh yeah, well I know Warmane brings in millions a year. Yeah, I'm sure Ascension WoW brings in millions, like millions a year.
share this with you guys. Like a detective gacha as well.
I don't really get into the anime style. I mean, this graphics here look fantastic, but I don't really get into the anime style. Like the art style, I don't know. I don't really get into it. You know what I would like to see, what we haven't, because I like fantasy MMOs and they've always been my favorite, but I would like to see a lot more like I would like to see some more variety based MMOs that are like not fantasy based, like like maybe I would like to see an MMO with a lot more cybernetics, like what I would really like to see would be something like, if you guys have ever read any Terry Brooks novels, but where you have like an Earth-based kind of world technology that basically, after like a nuclear holocaust, is kind of decimated, and then what rises up out of the remains of the nuclear holocaust are like kind of subverted and radiation-created creatures, which then this is kind of the way what some of the Terry Brooks books novels are like, and then the people that could rise up out of that, the ashes of that nuclear holocaust, are like kind of disfigured creatures that look like trolls or orcs, and then you also have so you have technology. You have this mix of like almost like kind of fantasy like elements, but you also have kind of hidden technology, like forgotten technology. So let's say the Holocaust wiped out most people on the planet, but then maybe like 60 years later, people are starting to kind of repopulate the world, and then they start to rediscover some of that technology. So you might have like creatures that look like trolls or orcs, or just these all kinds of bizarre creatures, but you could have some. Yeah, Horizon's kind of similar. Yeah, Horizon's got a little bit of that. You know what I mean? Or like Mad Max, Road Warrior. I mean, I would like to see more MMOs kind of in that kind of style, where it's a little bit of a mix between maybe like lost technology. Yeah, I think Horizon's MMO. Yeah, and they were going to do a Horizon MMO, and then I think they canceled it, which I was really disappointed about that, because I actually loved the Horizon world. Horizon Zero Dawn was really cool. I think I streamed that too. I never did finish the game, but I actually really liked it. Yeah. Here I was running through Horizon Zero Dawn on the ultra hard mode, which is actually quite challenging.
Oh shit! No!
Oh.
Stop!
I can get out of this.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn was really fun. Yeah, the new Horizon MMO I thought had the I mean, it could have been good. I was excited about it, and then it kind of got killed, I think. So. Oh, you mean the Ashes of Creation one, or do you mean Chronicles of Illyria? Was it Chronicles of Illyria? Oh, you mean the one that like was the that they were getting sued? Was it Chronicles of Illyria?
Okay, what up, friendos? Welcome back.
Yeah, well, Chronicles of Illyria was like that. That one, the guy took a bunch of people's money, and that caused all kinds of like legal issues. But yeah, Ashes of Creation is still going, right? Let's see. Where's my Ashes of Creation here? Hold on a second. I don't know if the game. Let's see if we get. Can we go into it? Oh, it's currently unavailable. It looks like the alpha is not currently available, which kind of sucks because it's supposed to be available pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I can launch this, but I'm sure we're not going to be able to get in. Yeah, they're on alpha too. I wonder. I don't even know if this game's ever gonna. The problem that this game has is they're taking so long to develop it that when they finally get it released, it's gonna look dated, right? So. Wow, my computer just started spinning hardcore. Compiling shaders. The fan on my computer just kicked in, so whatever this is doing, it's to get up some CPU power. Yeah, I think there's lots of stuff. I think Firefly would be. I think the Firefly universe would be another one. Milan. I think that kind of, and again, it kind of reminds me almost like a Blade Runner, or not a Blade Runner, but Blade Runner would be cool too, obviously. But we've had stuff similar. Um, but yeah, Firefly would be great. You know, that was such a great world, and I think that's kind of what I was thinking of. I mean, really, that kind of hit the nail on the head. One of the MMOs that we really haven't seen is, I mean, if you talk to, what was that one RPG based game that came out? They made the TV series about it. Remember the TV series that came out recently that was based on the game? Oh, what was it called? Fallout. I was thinking Fallout. Fallout kind of has, yeah, I think it was Fallout. Fallout kind of has that world, right, to a certain degree. Like if you watch Fallout, it kind of reminds me of. So like I wouldn't. I think Fallout would be a really fun MMO, something like kind of like Fallout. Stargate would be cool. But I think Firefly and Fallout both kind of similar. Alien versus Predator, I wouldn't really be interested in that. StarCraft wouldn't be interested. Black and White wouldn't be interested. Wouldn't be interested in Red Dwarf. Yeah, the Fallout show was pretty good. I was surprised. I didn't think I'd really like the Fallout show that much, and I didn't like it at the beginning, but it kind of grew on me, so I did like it. Yeah. Stargate's cool. I love Stargate. I'm a huge Stargate fan. I'm a massive Stargate fan. Like, yeah. So there's no realms here, but I was hoping we could at least get to the launcher and get to the music, but I guess not. Because one thing Ashes of Creation does do well is their music's fantastic. Whoever is doing the music for this game is really good. They have fantastic music, so. Die. I never watched The Last of Us. Yeah. But like, do we have
Take my love, take my land, take me where
Yeah. Also, I actually Firefly, if you really think about it, Firefly most closely resembles like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Like remember when Mad Max goes into the city? Remember that scene where Mad Max is going into the, let's see. Is it I don't know, Underbelly? No. It's Bartertown. What, Bartertown? Was it Bartertown? Yeah, so when Mad Max enters Bartertown, and you see like him walking through this area, it's a lot harsher and a lot rougher, but it reminds you a little bit of Mad Max, a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, right? And then you go to Firefly. When Kaylee, they're right here. So then you go into Firefly, and they're in the, see, like look at the kind of the similarities. It's kind of like dusty. This is not quite as obviously bad as Mad Max, but you can see this kind of dusty, like dirty looking area. But anyways, and the fact that like he gives her like I think some tomatoes, and then just growing fresh tomatoes is so difficult to, I mean, it's so difficult to even have like fresh fruit. Same thing with Mad Max. He goes into Bartertown, and the guy tries to sell him some water, and I think he runs like a Geiger counter over. He's like checking for like radiation contamination, and he's like, "Yeah, what's a little fallout?" Like the water. He tries to sell him some water, and the radiation levels are like off the chart. You kind of get the feeling that every time Project Epoch opens up the general chat, they regret it, don't you? Like every time they open up a general chat, I feel like I get the feeling like almost like they regret it, having to deal with the nonsense. It's amazing how fast it moves when. It's amazing how fast it moves when you can only post once every 2 hours. Working lady, bishop, and girl next door have dinner at the same table. Epic. Yeah, I think they definitely do cringe. I mean, and it's not just Project Epoch. I mean, any MMO. I could almost say any game, but I would say specifically MMO. Any MMO like chat can be really, like chat and Discord is pretty toxic. There was one thing I'm going to show you guys, and I'm going to go to bed. I think it was this guy did a video of Project Epoch Massive relaunch this. No, it wasn't that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. I'm trying to look for a certain streamer, but I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. Yeah. Yeah, is Project Epoch really better than Turtle WoW? This was actually a fun one. So,
and the tribal loyalties to give you an.
So this guy did a video on his Project Epoch really better than Turtle WoW, but my favorite part about this video was just go read the comments. It's August 4th, and Project Epoch website still says, come back on July 26th to sign up. July 26th to sign up and play. That's actually pretty funny. They haven't even updated their website. That is pretty bad. They should have updated their website. As someone who has multiple 60s on Turtle WoW but is looking to hop to Epoch, this video is a biased load of crap. I don't even need to say what side it's biased towards because nobody's going to be confused. Turtle WoW runs, Epoch don't. This is such clickbait. You can't even play Epoch. Are we really pretending like Epoch is basically an entire new game? Like, come on, bro. I'm excited for it too, but holy fuck. You asked for our opinion in comments, so here you go. I want you to discuss. Okay, let's just see. Right now, Turtle, hands down, no question. This is interesting. Saying Turtle WoW is discovered is silly because one patch in, Turtle WoW adds more custom content than 5 years of Epoch development. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, but what's funny about this video is, the guy who does the video is obviously incredibly biased. Check this out.
In the world of Classic Plus, two names are dominating every conversation. Turtle WoW, the long-standing king, and Project Epoch, the hyped-up challenger. You've seen the arguments in my comments, you've scrolled through the Reddit threads, and you've heard the debates raging in Discord. But now that Season of Discovery has fully come to an end, and nobody wants to play Mists of Pandaria, a lot of people are asking where should they invest their time? Which server actually delivers the better, more forward-thinking experience? Well, today we're settling that debate, we're cutting through the noise, the launch day drama, and the tribal loyalties to give you an honest analysis of why Project Epoch, with its modern client, genuinely fresh content, and ambitious vision, is the definite choice for the future of Classic Plus. First things
So it's just funny that he does a video saying is Project Epoch really better than Turtle WoW, and it only took him 46 seconds to basically say his opinion is that it is. It's not really a good way to do a video, right? Normally you want to save your opinion till the very end, not just kind of spill the beans after 46 seconds. You know what I mean? So, is Project Epoch better than Turtle WoW? It could be. Yeah. The biggest thing that Epoch has there's the other thing that Epoch has going for it is they've changed the raid scaling. Although I'm not a big raider, but like raids, they're like 40-man raids in WoW, like in vanilla WoW, are not 40-man raids in Epoch. I think they're 25-man. Some of the 20-man content I think has been reduced to 10-man content. So I'm not sure how they're scaling that, and I think that's a good move. I don't think anybody likes. I don't know about you guys, but first of all, I don't really raid a lot. But when I used to raid back in TBC and vanilla, I didn't really like trying to get 40 people together. It was always a pain in the ass, and I certainly don't want to be on Discord with 40 idiots, douchebags, talking about how good they are and how much damage they can do, and look at my fucking parses and like I really give a shit. And then like some girl says something, like speaks up and says a couple words, and it's like men have never heard a woman's voice in their entire fucking life. They're all like, oh, it's a girl talk. Oh my god. You know what I mean? It's fucking, they're all falling all over each other trying to get her attention. It's like, Jesus. The definition of cringe. Yeah, I usually do that too. Actually, if you watch me play, I always create a channel called Shh. Yeah, the fat Jimmy go the Subways. That's not nice, but it probably could be true to some degree. Right. Let's see. But I have to go to bed, guys. I got to break this habit. I've been in this habit of lately of starting streams at like 1 in the morning and then going till 4 in the morning, which is just silly. I'm not getting any sleep. You know what I mean? I'm burning the candle at both ends. It ain't good. I just wanted to show you, like, yeah, same thing with me. Like, if I go into one of my games here. I'm really disappointed that I couldn't get Warhammer Return of Reckoning. I couldn't get Reshade working on that. But I wasn't trying to get into combat. I just wanted to I wanted to show you something. Yeah, I always use the Guild War 2 UI for classic WoW. It's by far the best UI in my opinion. No, the only reason I logged in here to, and I haven't really. Come on, seriously? Here, let's just. I wasn't trying to log in to fight anybody. Alright, so the only reason I logged in here is I just want to show you, like, you guys were talking. He's still chasing me. Quit chasing me, damn you! The first thing I do when I go into any WoW game is I go into the chat windows here, and I immediately right-click on General and I say, Create New Window. And the new window is called Shh. And you go to settings, and the only thing used in here is say, guild chat, and whispers, and party, and that's it. You know, no raid, no instance, no, global channels, no nothing, no general, no trade, no local, no nothing. And I just go right into my, and most times when I'm leveling, I just go right into that channel. It's like I don't want to see anything other than if someone private messages me, or if if I'm in a guild, I want to see the guild chat, and that's about it. Mature people would think East European thing, maybe too toxic, too mature. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah. Like you said, the Eastern European. It was never more than 1 to 2 people from Eastern European countries that were normal. Yeah. Why is my screen not showing? Why is my... Oh, okay, never mind. I was seeing like a delay on the stream. Never mind. But anyways, I gotta get to bed, guys. It's way too late. My wife, I don't even think I'm gonna go to the bedroom. I think I'm just gonna go to the guest bedroom or something. Oh. Oh. Yeah, it's late. I'm still pissed off about fucking Warhammer, man. I'm still mad I cannot get that working. Yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah, good night, guys. Hope you have a good one. Yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. We'll see. I'm sure we'll get probably some information. Well, maybe we won't get information on when Project Geekbox is going to launch. And I don't even know how good Project Geekbox is going to be. We'll just have to see. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure with Reshape we could get it to look really nice, but if I can't get Reshape to work, I mean, I might, you know what? Let me post on their Discord and just, and see if maybe somebody can help me out, because I had All right, and what I went ahead and posted on the Discord here, on their Discord server. And if anybody can help, we'll see. I just posted on the Return of Reckoning, and I tried to make it in a box here, so kind of hard not to see it. And maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe somebody will know. I mean, it's just kind of unfortunate that the war camp here seems to have a clear guide on how to set it up, but it's a very simplistic guide too. And, download this, put the DLL in your root folder, add this little configuration file, put it in your folder, launch the game, make sure it launches, shut it down, open up Reshade, install it, point to war.exe, pick Vulkan, done. I mean, it's literally like, it doesn't get much easier than that. And it doesn't work, so I don't know. I don't know if it's something with my computer, but I mean, I've run Reshade on so many different games and without any issues, so I don't know, man. I normally can get it working no matter what the game, but not for Warhammer apparently. But I'll catch you guys there, man. Peace out.